Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle Moreus and I make art tutorials that are fun, easy, and accessible for everyone. Before we get into the video, please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below, I subscribed, and I'll be sure to get back to each and every one of you. Today we're doing a lemon tree in Ohuhu alcohol markers. So I'm starting to go in with my lightest green shades and I'm mapping in all of the leaves, and I've already put the yellow down for the lemons. Now you don't have to worry about the lines in the marker at this point because we're not blending yet. Now with alcohol markers, the more color you put down or the more times you go over it, the deeper and the richer the shade gets. So I'm going to be going over all of these areas several times with many different colors, and that's kind of how you blend the alcohol markers. You keep going over it and then you blend one shade into the other. I like to use a lighter shade marker or my mid-tone marker to kind of blend all of that together, and I'll show you a tutorial on that in a second. So like with everything, you want to start off slow and you want to keep gradually building up to the final value that you're going to end up with. So I'm just mapping in my dark areas, and then we're going to blend everything out and it's going to start to pop and look beautiful. As with everything, it's really important to start with a really good sketch and get down all of your details that you want to put in, where the color changes, where your values change, and this way it gives you a good roadmap to start with when you're going in and putting in those colors. So I'm doing a circle here just to show you how you can blend the markers. I'm going in with my first shade of yellow, my lightest shade, and I'm just kind of covering the whole area with that shade. And don't worry that it looks sketchy or you see the lines of the marker, because we're going to blend all that together as we go along. So that's my lightest shade. Now I'm going to go in with my second color. You could really do this in just 3 colors. I picked a lot because I was experimenting and trying to see what I could do with these markers. So we're going in with some midtones now, and then we're going to gradually get darker as we get to the edge of the circle. So now you see that the alcohol really blends nicely with itself. You want to let it dry for a couple seconds before you keep going over an area, because it stays wet and you'll see it dissipate as you leave it a little bit longer. Now, the more layers of that one color that you put down, the darker the tone is going to get. So you can get several different shades out of one marker just by going over it and over it and over it. Now I'm going in with my mid-tone and I'm trying to blend all of that together so that all those sketchy lines from the marker kind of disappear and it kind of melts together. So you let the alcohol do the job for you. Now you can really get a smooth transition the more you work at it and just keep going over it with that lighter marker to blend it all together. I'm just trying to do a quick tutorial here to just show you how you can get a smooth transition. The more you work at it, the better it's going to look in the end. But like I said, make sure you let it dry a little bit in between each layer. This way you're not getting pools of the alcohol ink pooling up on the paper. So I'm going in with some greens right now. I'm going to put several shades of green down and just show you how I'm going to blend it all together to get a nice gradient. So with each layer, you want to kind of overlap each layer a little bit so that when we go to blend, it's all going to blend seamlessly, because we're going to use the lighter marker, it'll blend in, and then we're going to go all the way up to the darkest tone. So you want to overlap each layer just a little bit, and then you'll see we're going to go in. So I'm going over my lightest tone, and I'm going over everything now, and it's starting to blend it all out a little bit. So it just takes a little bit of work, and sometimes I like to use a little scrubbing motion with it, and this helps it all blend together. The alcohol will mix with the other color and blend it out nicely. So as you can see, it does take a little bit of work to get a really nice gradient, but it does come together after a while. You just have to really work at it. And you can switch tones. If the lighter one's not quite working, go to the next tone up from that and start to blend. So I'm going back in with my mid-tone, trying to blend the dark into the mid-tone a little bit better. So this is the technique I'm going to use on the leaves. So we're just going to go and attack the drawing and just blend everything out to the best we can, and push those tones. It's really important to have the right kind of paper. You can't just use a printer paper for this because the alcohol markers will bleed out. So you want to have a nice smooth heavyweight paper. This is a Strathmore 400 series paper, but you can buy expensive marker papers, which are fabulous. I was just using what I had, and you can't really use a watercolor paper because it has too much cotton in it, and once you hit the alcohol marker to it, it's gonna bleed, and it's gonna be a mess. You're never gonna get a clean line with it. So we just keep going in, and I'm adding in my shadows, and I'm just blending, going over everything and trying to blend all those colors together to get a better, more seamless look out of the markers. So you'll see I'll go in with a darker, and then I'll go in with a mid-tone, and I'll blend all that out just like we did in our example. So I would attack the drawing by swatching out all of my colors before I start. This way you can see better what you're doing. The alcohol marker caps don't really give a clear representation of what color's in them, so you kind of want to map that out before you get going. It'll make it a lot easier when you start the drawing. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. I do get back to all of you. Thank you so much, and happy art.